YouTube. Oh man. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host K Dub. You were now tuned in to K Dub Palace, and today we're going to speak about some basketball stuff. We're going to speak about LeBron. We're going to speak about USC losing to the UCLA USC women's losing to UCLA Bruins in the Big Ten conference championship. I just found out that they're still going to be in March Madness, obviously. So, but let's start off with the USC, UCLA. SC went scoreless in the fourth quarter. Well, up until the last few minutes, Juju ended up scoring, but they went scoreless for majority of the fourth quarter, and they was turning the ball over. They was fouling. It was very sloppy basketball in the fourth quarter. Yeah, man. Juju was ice cold in the fourth. Ice cold in the fourth. They couldn't really get together, and then you said UCLA. They have a girl who plays the center position. Her last name is Betts, right? So Betts from UCLA. I'm gonna call her L Betts. So L Betts on UCLA. She is mean. She is mean on the glass. I mean, she had 4 blocks. I mean, she was protecting. She was doing her job. She was protecting the rim. In the fourth, it was like a mixed match with her and number 10 from UCLA, and Betts like backed her down and put her in the post or put her in there. I mean, SC had no answer for UCLA in the fourth. They was leading them in double digits up until the second half, and then they blew that second lead. And yeah, man, SC they just couldn't. They had no answer. Kiki was in foul trouble. Juju ended up getting her fourth foul late in the fourth, but but Juju still managed to have 29. But UCLA they played great. They played great defense on Juju, which kind of stopped her from getting to her spots. A lot of double teams. Yeah, man, it was a lot of that. And I mean, as far as UCLA, it wasn't a lot of scoring involved. No, nobody on UCLA had over 20 points, but the guard Rice, she hit some clutch free throws down the stretch. But I mean, their best player was their big man, in my opinion. Betts was their best player. So shout out to UCLA for getting that championship. I thought when USC had beat them earlier last week, I thought that was it. Then they played them again, and I was kind of confused, but I just found out that they're still in March Madness regardless. They can still go for that number 1 seed in the tournament. But yeah, man, it was unfortunate, But I think March Madness is next week. So they'll play South Dakota. They'll play. So USC is going to play South Dakota next Monday. So hopefully in this run in March Madness they can kind of get back on on good terms as a team. But yeah, man, it was unfortunate yesterday. Because USC plays so good. But they just gotta do better in the fourth, and I know they'll be better in the fourth. But when you shout out to UCLA for getting that win, I mean, you got 2 great teams going head to head. UCLA going into that game yesterday, they were 32 and they were 30-2, and USC was obviously they was 28-3, and then now with SC being 28-4, UCLA being 31-2 now. But the women's team is really good for UCLA. I didn't realize how good their record was up until a couple weeks ago. But they're really good. Shout out to them. I mean, obviously, I haven't been getting into a lot of men's college because I don't really watch men's college unless like Cooper Flag is playing. But I know they played a couple days ago. They beat UNC. I know Cooper Flag had that dunk in the fourth. That was crazy. But yeah, I don't really watch a lot of men's college. I'm more on the women's side only because I recently I didn't know like who was like popping in college up until Cooper Flag came in this year, or Mikey Williams, somebody else I can't think of right now. But next year I think college basketball is going to be really good next year because you got Bryce James, LeBron's son. You got Melo's son, Cayenne Anthony, who's going to be at Syracuse. You got Bryce James, who's going to be at Arizona, LeBron's son. You got AJ, who's going to BYU. You got Gilbert Arenas' son, Elijah Arenas, who's going to play for USC next year. So there's some people coming out next year. It's some talent coming out next year that I'm going to tune into. I think next year, damn. So USC gonna have Cayenne and Juju on campus. SC is looking like the best. SC looking real nice in California. I know they just lost to UCLA, but you know, yeah, man. But shout out to all of them, man. But as far as Duke is concerned, Duke played. They played UNC yesterday, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I seen the highlights. Obviously, Cooper Flag had 15 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds. But in my opinion, if Cooper Flag does come out this year, if there was a team I could see him playing for in the NBA, I'm gonna go with the Trailblazers. And I think that I say Trailblazers because they have a great young team who are like on the come up. They just need a star player over there. I think they need a small forward in particular. They get a small forward like a Cooper Flag over there, they can skyrocket. If Cooper Flag goes to Utah, which wouldn't be a bad team for him as well, because Utah. When I think of Utah, I think of mostly like a Caucasian fan base. So with Cooper Flag going over there, they can rally around that. Hopefully that doesn't sound too out of. Hopefully that don't sound too crazy, but that's just when I think of Utah, I think of a white fan base, like a white environment. So if Cooper Flag go over there, they're gonna embrace that. And then with Portland, I think with Portland they have a better team, like I said. So fit wise, I think he goes to Portland. Fit wise, Charlotte, no, because they got Brandon Miller and they have a lot of stuff they need to add around the Melo right now. I don't think Cooper Flag is that. Cooper Flag going to the Spurs is not a bad option. Spurs and Blazers are two teams that Cooper Flag could go to. Obviously, the better team would be Cooper Flag going to the Spurs. I mean, you put him with D Fox and Wemby, and he can be that small forward on that team. That's a nice 3 combo. D Fox, Wemby, and then Cooper Flag. That's a nice combo. I mean, that's nice of a trio right there. They can for sure make the playoffs. And then you don't have to get nobody in free agency because your free agent that you technically got was D Fox. So you don't really need nothing crazy. Just get somebody in the draft like a Cooper Flag who you don't have to trade for. You don't have to do nothing. You can just add him to the roster for free in the draft. That could be that's a good situation. But if you want Cooper Flag to be a franchise, if you want him to be a main piece, like the number one option, you go to the Blazers because the Blazers don't have a number one option. Yeah, they got Anthony Simons. DeAndre Ayton is hurt, but when he's healthy, he's been putting up numbers. When he's been healthy with the Blazers, he's put up numbers. DeAndre Ayton, but he's not no number one option. Anthony Simons, he's a bucket, but he's not a number one option. The Trailblazers don't have a franchise player. They have a bunch of exciting players that have a lot of talent, like Shaedon Sharpe. He's not a number one option. His talent is through the roof. He can dunk for sure. He can shoot. He can do all that. They got Jeremy Grant, who's kind of like an Asian veteran that's just over there to kind of just hold the team together. Jeremy Grant could be somebody who you can trade away to get some more young assets, or just keep him around for veteran type leadership and experience, if you want to say, as far as like playoffs. But I think Cooper Flag on the Blazers. I think Cooper Flag elevates the Blazers to not championship, playoff. Kind of like the Houston Rockets, playoffs. They'll be in playoffs. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Cooper Flag did go to like the Spurs. That's a good situation. If Pop is coaching next year, that's a great situation for him. And they do, as an organization, the Spurs do good. They do good by their players. So Cooper Flag, I think he gets drafted by the Blazers or the Spurs, because the Spurs, since they lost Wemby to the blood clot, which has them out for the season, the Spurs are probably gonna start losing. And yeah, they can probably get Cooper Flag. That's not a bad option. Or depending on where the Mavericks finish, Cooper Flag in Dallas, I don't know that's a good option for him. But then I don't know if that's a good option. I feel like if he goes to Dallas, he's gonna come off the bench, and I don't know if he's gonna be okay with that. But then he could start over PJ Washington. He could do that. That's if the Mavericks if they want to go through with that. As far as finish out the season, they want to tank, go ahead. But as far as if you want Cooper Flag to be the face of the team, I think he goes to the Blazers, which they don't have a face, but have a lot of young talent that is elevating, that's trending in the right direction. I don't think he should go to the Wizards because the Wizards are horrible. You see how they run their team, horrible. Charlotte, no. Toronto is a wild card. I feel like Toronto has a bunch of small forwards starting up. The Raptors have a lineup issue. They have a point guard in Emmanuel Quickly. But their 2, 3, and 4 are all small forwards. And you just trade for Brandon Ingram. And you got Scotty Barnes. And you got RJ Barrett. You gotta figure out that lineup. Cause y'all got 3 small forwards in the lineup. And if you had Cooper Flag, that's not gonna be a great situation. Cause in that situation, Cooper Flag would probably, you would be asking like a RJ Barrett to come off the bench. Like, no. Like, Scotty Barnes is your franchise player. That's not happening. So he's not coming off the bench. And then Brandon Ingram, he's trying to play. He's still playing for a contract. You know what I mean? He's still trying to prove himself that he's still that guy. He's not coming off the bench. So yeah, I don't see why. I don't know why the Raptors even trade for Brandon Ingram. To be honest, unless they're going to trade him again in the offseason. But that's my opinion on Cooper Flag. I think he goes to the Blazers. The Blazers don't have a small forward. They don't have a franchise player. You get Cooper Flag, franchise player, small forward / power forward. He's a forward. You plug him in with the Blazers, playoffs. Now you just have to build like that bench a little bit, and then you're good. You got bigs, you got Aiden, and you got the rookie from this year, Clinican. That's his last name. He's solid. Yeah, it's not a bad team for Cooper Flag to go to. I think he'll make noise in Portland. As far as I've heard like the Pelicans. No, I mean, yeah, they traded Ingram, so I mean, you can get Cooper Flag with Zion to Duke. That could be a little thing, but it's like health issues. It's health issues, and then DeJounte Murray just tore his Achilles. He tore his Achilles, so they got and then you hear rumors about Zion getting traded, and it's a lot going on with the Pelicans right now. I don't know, but if he's gonna go to some low bottom teams, Jazz, Blazers, and Spurs. Those three, I think. Or the Sixers, no, because they got Paul George. No, he shouldn't go over there. He shouldn't go over there. I heard like the Bulls. That's not a bad option. You got Lonzo Ball at the point. You don't got Zach LaVine or DeRozan no more, so you need some excitement. You got Kobe White. That's a good situation. The rookie that was in the dunk contest, solid. Well, I don't know if he's solid or not. I just seen the dunk contest. I don't. As far as his game, I don't know. I just see him dunk a lot. That's all I see him do. But they have some pieces. Who else? The Hawks. The Hawks. They could use a Cooper Flag after trading DeAndre Hunter. They could use a Cooper Flag, but I don't think the Hawks are going to get. Because they had the number one pick last year. It's like you got him, you got Jalen Johnson. He coming from injury. I don't think you want to mess up that development and chemistry over there with them two guys. So yeah, man, I think the Blazers, Jazz, and Spurs, them three teams. And me personally, I think he goes to the Blazers because they have a team with no franchise player. They have the pieces. They just need a franchise player. You plug in Cooper Flag, who can fit that small forward spot, which they also need. And you don't have to give up nobody to get Cooper Flag because he's getting drafted. Makes sense. So let's move on. I've never talked about Cooper Flag this much on my pod. But let's move on. The Lakers lose to the Celtics yesterday. Well, Saturday. LeBron pulled his groin. He's expected to miss 1 to 2 weeks. It's unfortunate, but this is why you got this. This is why you have Luka. Luka can carry the load with LeBron out. You got Luka now. We've seen Luka carry a team, but Luka has also been hurt a little bit. With I think yesterday it was reported that Luka was battling like a back problem, a little back issue. But tonight they played Brooklyn tonight. So hopefully they can get that win without Bron. But as far as the game, Jason Tatum, he had 40 in that game. And then Jaylen Brown had 31. I think I talked about this yesterday. But moving forward, now that we know about the LeBron injury and the circumstances, 1 to 2 weeks, he's not going to be out for the playoffs, so that's good. But now the Lakers got to get healthy. Now Austin Reeves is going to have to pick up that second option slack. Austin Reeves is going to have to average around 23 a game, and Luka's going to have to average 30 until Braun come back. That's what you got to do. You got to step up. The bench players got to step up. Like Dalton Connect, he's going to have to average around 15 to 17 off the bench. Gabe Vincent's going to have to. He's going to have to come in the clutch, when needed. Yeah, man, you're going to need help from that bench, for sure. And I just found out that Jackson Hayes is also hurt. And they played Nick Claxton tonight. And Nick Claxton, I'm not saying he's like a big deal, but Nick Claxton is 7 foot and he can block shots, rebound. Even though the numbers don't show it, but Nick Claxton is going to have a game tonight. And then you're playing against Cam Thomas, who is a bucket. Now, speaking of Brooklyn, going back to Cooper Flag, Brooklyn could be a Cooper Flag destination for the draft. I don't know. That's not a bad option for Cooper Flag. He go to Brooklyn, he gonna have New York rocking in Brooklyn. Well, Brooklyn rocking. That wouldn't be a bad team either. But you got Cam Johnson over there. But anyway, off track. Back to the Lakers. They gotta get healthy. Luka's gonna have to go for 40 tonight. They're playing Brooklyn. Nobody on Brooklyn can guard Luka. Luka, you gonna have to drop. Luka, I am expecting you to drop 40 with like 10 assists and like 7, 8 rebounds. And y'all have to beat Brooklyn. I can say blowout, but I feel like y'all not gonna blow them out. So y'all gotta at least beat Brooklyn by 10 points. 9, 10 points at least. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes these bad teams can kind of fool you and they'll beat you by, and they'll come out with a win. But yeah, man. As far as the game on Saturday night, it was a good game up until the last couple minutes. But yeah, man. But I mean, they came back and they was down by 22, and then they came back and lost by 10. But yeah, man, Luka's got to go for 40, and Luka's got to carry the load. So the Lakers for sure have to get healthy. Now, as far as tonight, Golden State has been winning a lot of games. Jimmy, I don't know what it is, but I'm rooting for Jimmy. I don't know what it is, like, but it's weird because it's the Warriors. I never root for the Warriors, but I'm rooting for Jimmy for some reason. I think it's because of how he carried Miami a few times to the finals, and I rooted for Jimmy in 2023 when he carried them to the finals and played the Nuggets. I rooted for Jimmy like that whole playoff run. I don't know what it is, but I'm rooting for Jimmy. I don't know what it is. I might get a Jimmy jersey. I don't know yet. But I'm rooting for Jimmy, though. And I like how the Warriors have turned things around. You know what I mean? And I'm not a Warriors fan, but it's just weird that I'm rooting for them. It's actually weird. Because they beat the Pistons on Saturday. That was a good game, too. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, Jimmy's been a great addition. He's been a great addition to the roster, and I'm proud of Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? He's going over there. He's winning. He looks happy. You know what I mean? Like, mind you, they are 11-2 since the trade with Jimmy, and they don't have Jonathan Kuminga. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Jonathan Kuminga is out with an ankle injury. I think he's dealing with a contract situation, and they're using the ankle. They're using the ankle injury to cover up the contract issue. But there's no ankle injury no more with Jonathan Kuminga. I think he's just trying to figure out his contract. Because I'm gonna be honest, when Kuminga come back, he's probably gonna come off the bench because they're playing so well. But Jonathan Kuminga, being a young player, his ego's probably gonna tell him like, nah, I need to start. I mean, like, who knows? Draymond might come back Draymond might start coming off the bench again. Cause before Kuminga got hurt, Draymond was coming off the bench. Maybe Kuminga sees what's happening. Like, you know what? I'll come off the bench. So, I know this is a basketball show, but we got some football breaking news. Sam Darnold has signed a 3-year with $110.5 million contract, including he just signed a deal with the Seahawks. Okay, Sam Darnold just signed a 3-year deal with the Seahawks, which means that the Vikings don't have a quarterback. But Sam Darnold, why would he go to the Seahawks? Didn't they just trade DK Metcalf to the Steelers? Justin Jefferson. So who's going to be Justin Jefferson's quarterback? So now we know. So Aaron Rodgers is definitely going to be going to. So Aaron Rodgers is probably going to go to the Vikings. Or I ain't gonna lie, Russell Wilson might go to the Vikings. You know what? Why? I have a feeling Russell Wilson might go to the Vikings. I feel like Russell Wilson might go to the Vikings. But then again, Aaron Rodgers. But the Giants don't have a quarterback. Interesting. But anyway, back to basketball. Yeah, man, that's going to end this episode. Tonight we got the Nuggets and OKC. Shea dropped 40 yesterday against the Nuggets yesterday. Yeah, man, OKC is looking real good right now. But OKC 7-game win streak. You know, Shay's on the run. He's gonna win MVP. The Cavs, they beat the Bucks last night. But Donovan Mitchell and Garland didn't play good, but they still was able to win. Yo, the Cavs are 54-10. They have a potential that they can tie the record of the '96 Bulls for a 72-10. They can tie that if they want. If they could probably tie that. But I don't trust the Cavs in the playoffs. Still, great regular season. Great regular season. Playoffs. Donovan Mitchell. He falls in the playoffs to me. You know, I'm thinking about like the Utah Jazz days, like the first round exits, like sometimes second round exits, like even with the Cavs, first round exit, second round, like I don't know, man. Let's see. We'll see. The Bucks don't got their full roster. Like Bobby Portis didn't play, so they got Kuzma now. You got Kevin Porter. I'm gonna be honest, like let's not freak out, But yeah, man. But the Cavs and OKC, they both looking good. But that's gonna conclude this episode, though. I'm chatting too much. It's gonna conclude the episode. Now, what I will say is the Warriors do play the Blazers tonight, and then Phoenix play Memphis tonight. Speaking of Memphis, I didn't watch the highlights. I seen Ja went for another 30-point game. I didn't watch it. I haven't even watched the highlights. Gotta watch the highlights. But that's gonna conclude this episode of K-Dub Palace. I'm your host K-Dub. I'm gonna try and drop every day, if not every other day. Bear with me. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. And yeah, man, that's going to conclude this episode 47, I think. I'm going to see y'all in the next episode, man. And we out this thing.